Hi there, Melissa Wilkinson here to guide you through the process of painting a quick field sketch in oil paint. You'll note that through my initial view I make a few changes based on the rules of composition. I situate the sketch based on three distinct values and the concept of the no-tan sketch. I break down my picture plane into thirds, planting my horizon line at the top third of my composition rather than in the center, which is my actual view. You want to avoid bisecting a landscape composition altogether, lest you create a static or boring image. As you think about your composition, you want to utilize dominant shapes for setting a design, and never neglect shadow structures as a weighting mechanism, as in they have weight. They are shapes too. Look for diagonals, as they'll always create an active design structure, and start by lightly plotting out your lines using thin paint. The color is always up to you. Work from the distant background and stack towards the front. Indicate your major shifts of value as you do so, as in the sky's gradient change. As you stack, focus on indicating atmospheric perspective. Remember, atmospheric perspective are objects that are in the distance, are generally lighter, they're cooler in temperature, and lesser in contrast and often soft-edged. Note that as I move into the cement, that it isn't white, but more of a beige color, warmed by the sun. You'll also note that most of my shadows are cool. If your light is warm, more often than not, your shadows will be cool and vice versa. So as you plot your foliage, you want to do so as in general shapes. I start with the darkest tones, and I do so thinly. Later, I apply the lighter foliage, the lighter in color foliage, directly on top so as not to fuss too much over individual leaves. Remember that warm pops and cool recedes, so as you incrementally work towards the foreground, you will see warmer tones, even if the colors you normally assign a local color as cool. So you'll see oranges and burnt siennas in greens as they move in distance towards you. Green can be your enemy, so don't simply rely on one color for your foliage, and note that there is great variety inherent in plant life. As I work towards a more finished surface, I allow myself to work with smaller brushes and more fixed purpose brushes. The small brushes can be used to indicate tighter brushwork for detail, and the softer bristle brushes can soften edges, such as in the clouds or the far background trees. That's about it, so thanks for joining me on another tutorial.